Hey there, have you ever wondered, is it okay for me to ask my spirit guides, my angels, my loved ones to help increase my wealth and abundance? Is that something I can ask them for? Maybe it's gone through your head that that would be selfish, right? Or that seems too shallow to focus on that if you're talking to the other side of the veil. Well, I can promise you, if you've ever had that thought, you're not alone. I get this question a lot, and I'm going to answer it for you right now. So if you're new to me, I'm Patty Lennon. I'm author of Make Space for Magic, and part of the work I do in the world is helping you and people like you understand that the spirit world definitely wants to help us with this human existence, right? On every level. And to help you understand how to work with your spirit team. Your spirit team are your spirit guides that are assigned specifically to you. Yes, you have them. Angels and loved ones that have crossed over. So there's a lot of questions I get, like where do I start and how does all this work? And I'm covering all those questions right now in these series of videos. This is the third in that series. And if you want to check out the other ones, you can go to pattylennon.com/tapping intuition. You don't have to opt in or do any of those crazy things. All those videos will be there. And today the question I'm answering is it okay to ask for material wealth, right? And so the short answer is absolutely. Absolutely. Your spirit guides, your angels, your loved ones, they want to help you with the entire rainbow of desires that you have. But I want you to understand why, because I know it's likely that if you had that question, it may be that your family of origin or your spiritual tradition of origin kind of taught you that doing anything like that was greedy or wrong, or you'd be judged by a higher power for it. So I want to break it down so that it makes sense why this is not just okay, but why they want you asking them for this help. And I'm going to use my own story. So years ago, my family and I ended up being in about, well over 6 figures in debt. So debt was weighing on me all the time. If you've ever been in debt, you know that it's this just presence in your life, right? And really all forms of lack show up that way. It's just this constant presence. It's like this horrible guest that you didn't want to come to your party, and they're there and they're just loud and obnoxious, right? Well, at the time I was really broken. I was grieving the loss of my mother after taking care of her for a few years, and everything was just very hard. My husband was out of work. I had started my business, but it was still in the fledgling stages, so it wasn't super profitable. And I, kind of held my fists up to the skies and said, why is this happening to me? Why am I in this much debt when everything I've done has been to, serve the divine and be a good person and take care of people? And my angels gave me a message that completely freed me from the debt story I was living, and which ultimately led me to get out of debt. And what they said to me is, Patty, you didn't do anything wrong to cause this debt. And this debt is not punishment. Debt is simply proof that you gave more than you had to give. And in order to change that and in order to shift that, you have to shift that relationship. And that one message just sucked all the shame I had from that debt out of it. And releasing that shame really led me on a path that was a couple of years. It took a couple of years to come out of debt, but I did eventually end up out of debt. They led me along a path that showed me what to do next and what to do next and what to do next. And the reason I'm telling you that is for a few reasons. One, if you have a desire to ask for more wealth or more abundance, it's likely you're coming from a place of lack, and your spirit team doesn't want you operating on the planet from a place of lack. Your birthright is abundance. And so it's okay to ask for help with that, right? Not just that, but you are going to be limited in how giving and how free-flowing you can be with your own gifts to the world if you're sort of weighed down by needs, right? I can tell you that although I efforted at being a kind and a loving person, when that debt was weighing on me, it was sucking some of my juice out of me. It was sucking some of the joy out of me. And my spirit team has always been on Patty full performance version, right? And your spirit team is on you at full performance, because you at full performance, you at your well being full and overflowing means that you are giving fully, you are able and free to give fully from your own gifts, which is really the reason you're here on the planet. And it's not just that. When I got the message that helped me rework my debt story, what also I noticed happened was they didn't give me the whole solution. It wasn't like a giant 6-figure check was given to me and dropped into my bank. What happened was they led me on this journey to show me what's the next thing to do and what's the next thing to do and what's the next thing to do. And in the process of doing those things, I healed wounds that were existing inside myself, wounds that were attached to my lack and my worthiness. And that's a really big priority for your spirit team to help you with. Now, you can ask them, hey, I'd like this really big check to pay off all my debt. Most likely the answer you're going to get is silence, because that's actually not for your highest path. But what they will do is they'll help you walk on the path that gets you to your needs being met. Now, occasionally, I've actually seen huge windfalls be delivered to people at their requests when it's for their highest good. And it's really how you're asking questions and the more detailed you get that get you the more specific answers. Now, if you'd like my help in understanding how to do that questioning, how to really see the answers you're getting, how to understand them, how to understand the nuance of them, then I'd love for you to join us for an upcoming workshop that I am going to be offering coming up on April 12th. And so you can go to pattylennon.com/4 steps to register for that, where I'll be giving the 4 steps to help you learn how to communicate with your spirit guides, your angels, and your loved ones. This will be a piece of the puzzle that we'll be talking about. And what you're going to find is that, by the way, is a paid workshop. But you are going to find what our team calls abundance-based pricing. What does that mean? It means that there's tiered pricing and you choose the level of pricing that works for you. Now, even the highest level is very reasonably priced at $77, but you can also choose the $17 option. And certainly if you're not in a position to even pay $17, there's a place for you can reach out to my team, let them know what's going on for you, and my team can help you get into the workshop anyway. The reason we call it abundance-based pricing is because, as I said, there was a time where I was in a huge amount of debt. And there were times where I wanted to take part in workshops and learning opportunities that had tiered pricing, but there was always a little bit of shame in choosing a lower amount of pricing because they often phrased it that pay what you can or pay based on need. I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting you pay based on the level of abundance you're experiencing right now. You could be your bank account could be full and you just don't feel free to invest in this. That affects your level of abundance. It's okay to choose. And you know what? Maybe you don't have the financial freedom to invest at that higher level. That's okay. Things are going to shift. I want you to feel as free to choose the lowest dollar amount as you do the highest amount. Whatever it is that gives you the greatest sense of freedom to invest in this time together in this workshop, do it. It is going to be a live workshop. But I promise you, even if you can't be there live, which is April 12th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern, you will get the recording, and it's just as beneficial to watch the recording as it is to be there live. But if you are there live with us, you will have the opportunity to talk to me, interact with me, and ask me any questions your heart desires. So I hope to see you there, and I hope that this video answered a question that was holding you up, if in fact it was. Because what I will tell you is when I open up, when I'm in large audiences and I open up for questions they may have about working with their spirit guides and angels, very rarely will people ask me this question. But when they get me alone, when we're talking offsides, they'll say, hey, Patty, Is it okay for me to ask for this? So I know it's one of those questions that we kind of hold close to the vest, but it does affect a lot of people. So I want to promise you, you can ask whatever your heart desires. If it is not for your highest good, your spirit team will not help you with it, but they will show you what they can do. All right. So have an amazing day, and I hope to see you at the workshop.